I like your background there, Alan.
Yeah, yeah. I got the actual original poster from Attic for that Coney
Representing.
Hatch, the first one. Yeah, somewhere tucked away.
All right, guys, we are live.
There we go.
Live, folks. Here we are. Oh, yeah. Last second.
Sneaking it in under the wire.
Sneaking it in. Andy Curran, Coney Hatch, Canadian icons.
One of my recently, we're all COVID and we got all these texts going. Who's your top 10 Canadian bands of all time? Well, Coney Hatch made my list, and we're here with Andy Curran, bass player extraordinaire, to promote a live stream.
Yeah, no problem, man. So let's just start things off, all right? So it's the famous El Mocambo in Toronto. You guys are doing a pay-per-view web content live stream October the 3rd, and that would be, what, Saturday?
Saturday night, 8 o'clock. Virtual doors open, I believe, at 7:45.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
The virtual merch stand opens right before.
Nobody has to, no coat check. You just log on and
log on. Nugs TV is where we're doing it. Nugs is a very cool pay-per-view streaming host that's been doing it since '97 with Metallica and Pearl Jam and Bruce Springsteen and Grateful Dead. So we're happy to be working with the Nugs and the El Mocambo. We have not played the El Mocambo since 1983, boys.
There you go.
Wow. Famous club. And now maybe you want to give a little brief, or Andy, give a little brief history on El Mocambo.
Well, listen, I've become quite an expert on it because I am kind of involved in the project. I helped Michael Weckerly put together a team when he bought the El Mocambo, but the heyday was 1977 to 84. Everybody from the Rolling Stones to Stevie Ray Vaughan to Blondie to Cheap Trick, Judas Priest, Coney Hatch played there in 1983. I saw the Cars' first ever show there on their debut record. I saw Rory Gallagher there. I met one of my heroes, Edgar Winter, when he played there. But it was the showcase room in Toronto. And it's interesting because, they didn't just focus on rock and roll. Jaco Pastorius from Weather Report played there. They had John Belushi and Gilda Radner from the National Lampoon did a comedy show there. Bruce Coburn, lots of different styles of music, lots of punk rock, Ramones, Teenage Head. So it was the place to play. And then it fell on very bad repair. The upstairs turned into like a yoga lounge or
That's
something.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, they just cleared it out. They didn't have any more shows up there. And about 4 years ago, Michael Weckerly bought the venue and spent millions of dollars renovating it, put a balcony in there. He went 10 feet down, 30 feet up, put a recording studio in there and a video control suite. So he built on this interesting model about 2.5 years ago, which was to be able to live stream acts when they came in there. In addition to playing at the venue, he thought, well, this would be cool. Let's live stream shows because the capacity is like 500. So he thought, well, what can we do to, open the walls up and get to some more fans? So we put this recording studio in there and a video suite. And next thing you know, COVID hits, and he's
looking like a genius.
Landed
Talk about preparation.
Yeah. A man with a vision.
Yeah.
Alan, we should have thought of this. We should have thought of this somehow.
And I would say one of the things that differentiates the Elmo from the rest of the venues in the city, if not the country or North America, is he outfitted it in such a way that every single lighting fixture in there is broadcast quality. The streaming is all built in. He's got this 10 gigabyte dual core fiber optic cable out of the back of the building. So he's literally plug and play. You don't bring anything in there. You go in, you turn the cameras on, and you go and you capture and record it and stream it. It's fantastic. So we're super psyched. I think we're only show number 3 or 4 into the El Mocambo. The Big Wreck was the first concert in there, and I watched that online, and it was just amazing. The quality was outstanding. It's at 4K as well, which is, pretty high def, right?
You know what? Actually, I'm going to recommend it to a few people. now that you're mentioning this, it sounds like, wow. And there's a Rolling Stones April Wine story.
Yeah, I got the record downstairs. April Wine opened up for them back in the day at the El Mocambo.
I have a little bit of a story for you on that, because when April Wine played there, that was billed as April Wine with special guest the Cockroaches.
Yes.
So
Cucaracha.
Yeah, so the Stones did not bill themselves as the Rolling Stones, and then of course and I believe they ended up playing a couple nights there, and then they recorded a live record, and obviously the infamous Maggie Trudeau story about Maggie hanging out with Ronnie Wood, and lots of controversy around it. But I would say that was probably at the height and the pinnacle of the El Mocambo's legacy, was when the Rolling Stones played that show there.
Yeah. So and April Wine opened up. So just there.
So we go. Let's talk about this now. We got the Thumpers with you, Carl, of course. Steve's not, but we got the famous Sean Kelly, played with pretty much everybody in Canada at one point or another.
Lee Aaron. He's playing with Lee Aaron now. He's playing with you guys.
So
he's playing with Iron Maiden, I think. No.
Well, Sean
it's
Kelly.
A little dig.
Sean Kelly's a very dear friend of Carl Dixon. So those two guys have a great friendship, and we were finding it increasingly hard to, like, Coney Hatch getting together is like herding cats, and so we had some difficulty with Steve's schedule, and Sean filled in for some shows, and I also had Michael Burkowski fill in for some shows, and Michael was in my band, my No Tattoos band, I like to call it, but it fit really well with Sean, and there you go. Yeah. And so, Sean's played, as you guys said, Lee Aaron and Helix and Nelly Furtado. He's a really, really talented guy. He's the young guy in the band now.
He's a junior. Yeah. I think I saw you guys open up for, it was Carl Dixon. Me and Alan did an interview with Carl.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to have Carl before the British Lion Tour.
3 years ago? And that was for the Steve Harris British Lion Tour. Remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
In Montreal. Yeah. And that was at... what's that? Where was it? Can't remember.
Corona
Theater. Coronavirus, yes. So fitting.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So for this show on Saturday, now are people allowed in or strictly just being streamed?
It's a bit of both, Alan. So the city of Toronto is allowing the El Mocambo at this point to they're allowed 50 people maximum in the building. So they've got a balcony on the second floor. So right now at the moment there'll be 20 on the balcony, 30 on the ground floor, but primarily it was set up as a live stream. If we're lucky enough to get some people in the building, it'll add some vibe and ambience to it. But still, I find a lot of people still are very, very skeptical and cautious about going outside right now. So, hey, it'll bring us back to the early days when we used to play to 50 people.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something.
I just wanted to jump in there, Jim, because speaking of the early days, I remember seeing you guys in a roller rink in Granby just before the Out of Hand album came out. I think there was 10 people there and a fight breaks out.
Yeah.
It's like a Motley Crue story.
I was like 13. I think I weighed 65 pounds soaking wet, and the fight breaks out there.
That sounds about right. No.
Just I want to tell everybody this, that I saw Voivod, they did a live stream, and I saw Anvil as well. They did a live stream. And I got to say the quality, and I keep saying this over and over again, and it was paid. It was paid. The quality was excellent. And during the sort of live stream, there was a chat going on, and people were just psyched up, and you could feel people bouncing around in their living rooms next to their computers. So it really is worth it. That's what I'm trying to say. I've done this experience, and it really is worth it. And I hope this one is too.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thanks, guys. I consider us pretty lucky to be one of the few bands that's able to do a show right now. Michael Weckerly, the CEO, is a big Coney Hatch fan and invited us to play there. So otherwise, we had a couple of shows, in Europe and France and Germany that we had to reschedule, obviously, to 2021. So we feel pretty lucky and privileged to be able to do the show. It's it's definitely a strange time, but we'll be safe. We'll be safe.
All right.
Good. And we have our friend of our show here, Tim Henderson, will be hosting. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, so we put a really cool interview in the can that'll air before the show. I'm sort of giving the plot out a little bit, but Metal Team did an interview with Carl and I that when you log on to the show, you'll actually see a 25-minute interview with Carl and I, and Tim's prodding us and poking us about the past, present, and future, and then he'll come to the show and bring us on stage.
Yeah, well, we're friends with Tim. Tim's a great guy. Tim, the guy who runs, the Master Chief at BraveWords, big plug for BraveWords.
The big honcho.
The big honcho, the metal honcho. So what's the set list gonna be like?
We thought about this quite a lot, Jimmy, when we thought, okay, to really cover it all. Hey, there's Dave Ketchum. We're gonna do.
Dave, jump in. Tell him to jump in.
Davey.
Do like a Superman thing, like the hands
he comes and goes.
I'll wave him back in. But no, we're going to concentrate on a nice coverage of all four records, all four studio records. We're going to pay homage. I think like it's a little bit skewed to the first record. We're doing a little bit more off the first record, but we'll visit Out of Hand and Friction in Coney Hatch 4. So it's a bit of a best of Coney Hatch set that we're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, when we interviewed Carl, it was every Coney Hatch album. There's always the Andy Curran songs, and of course Carl's songs, and he was saying like Coney Hatch 4, it was really felt good. Like it wasn't really split down the middle. It was a nice synergy with the writing between the two of you.
Well, thank you for saying that. We tried to balance the Coney Hatch 4 record fairly equally. If you remember the Friction album, there was sort of a label decision to have me take a back seat with the lead vocals, and Carl handled pretty much every song except for one on Friction. So we kind of got back to the first record, the dynamics of splitting it between us. And it felt pretty good to us. I think we're kind of proud of that Coney Hatch 4 record. I think it's definitely back to our roots,
Right, for sure.
Alan, I'm just get some questions from the people writing in, okay? I'm sorry to cut you off. First of all, Robert says monkey bars.
Yeah. That's enough said. What do you want to add to that?
That's an Andy song. Jay,
but was that really written about the bars scene in Quebec?
Very close to Quebec. We were playing in New Brunswick, and we were staying in a band house. And no word of a lie, the club owner said to us, if you look and you count the cars, it'll tell you if you're going to be, what type of business you're doing tonight. So, make sure you count the cars in the parking lot. And I was like, this is so weird, right? And so I had a little lyric book that I used to write different little quotes down. I was like counting the cars at the bars. And then, we played at a bunch of rough and rowdy roadhouses that's kind of like the Blues Brothers, where they're throwing crap at you and all that kind of stuff. And often we would get off and go, man, we played to a bunch of monkeys and a bunch of gorillas, and, affectionately termed, some of the bikers and stuff like that. And I kind of just wrote it down. I was like, okay, monkey, gorillas, monkey bars, counting the cars. And it was very nursery rhyme-ish. I can't get away from that song, but it's, I went to Spotify the other day and I was like, who would have known it's the most played song of the Coney Hatch catalog? It's on Spotify, right?
Hey, but also, Andy, we're watching the Rush documentaries and your name's popping up all over the place. Just walk us through from the end of Coney Hatch and what you went on to afterwards.
Yeah, well, I'll condense it because, after Coney, I took some time off and put together my own solo band, which is the album that you just put up there.
No Tattoos.
That was I had asked Steve Shelsky to join the band for a brief period there. Steve was the guitar player, and then Steve joined Larry Gowan. So I was out on my own, and I put a band together, and that was the No Tattoos record. And I ended up winning a Juno Award with that, and I was pretty proud of it. We got a lot of airplay. We did a lot of touring, and that band kind of morphed into Soho 69, and I put that
Scatterbrain.
Yeah, for the Scatterbrain record, and that label with Hypnotic, the situation there was very funky. So that was a quick, the honeymoon was over very quickly there. I did very little touring off of the Scatterbrain record, but we got some much music play, and that was pretty cool. And then I got married and I have 2 daughters, so I kind of slowed things down a little bit on the touring front, and I put together a band called Drug Plan, which morphed into Trailer Park, which morphed into Leisure World, and it's a well-kept secret, that record, and I'm going to re-release it this year. But it's the I'm probably most proud of that record out of anything that I've done, and it was very heavy, very alternative sounding. We a song called "I'm Dead" went top 10 in Boston, and we did a little bit of touring with Creed and Brother Kane and Stabbing Westward and a few bands like that. And at that point, I got approached by Ray Daniels, the manager of Rush, and he said, "Andy, why don't you come off the road and why don't you come over and work at that Anthem and be the A&R guy over there?" And the funny story about that, guys, was I was at a period in my life where I was like, okay, I want to come off the road. I think I owe it to my family to be around a little bit more. And he sold me on the fact that I should be at home with my family. I never spent more time on the road than I did when I took that job. So all of a sudden, I was out on the road in Australia with the Tea Party. I was on tour with Big Wreck and Stephen Page, and then obviously with Rush. But it was quite a ride being involved with the label and being the A&R guy for one of the best bands in the world. And with Rush, you don't A&R them. You just let them do what they do. And I would never think that I could come in and contribute in any way to make their records better. But what I pride myself in is introducing him to Nick Raskulinecz. They came to me one day and had a list of producers and said, who do you think should produce us? And so I brought a couple names forth, and one of them was Nick Raskulinecz, and they hit it off with him, and they made 2 records with him. I think arguably some of their best music was their last couple records that they made. And, I was fortunate enough to be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with them when they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I was constantly pinching myself on a daily basis, like, how did I get here? How am I working with these guys? And they became
sitting next to Geddy Lee, like something like that, right?
Right. And I used to idolize them at Maple Leaf Gardens. I bought a Rickenbacker. I grew up listening to them, going to the Massey Hall, All the World's Stage show, right? So I loved every minute of it. I'm still involved with the boys in Rush a little bit, helping them out with their endorsements and stuff like that. But it was quite a rocket ride for me, man. I loved every minute of it.
What about Neil Peart? I mean, were you close to him? I mean,
were you as shocked as we all were?
Yeah. My relationship with Neil, Neil's obviously a very, very private man. It took me a while to break the ice with Neil, but we became fast friends over ice hockey. He loved ice hockey. He spent a lot of time in Quebec, and I would do that broken accent for him about the English guy or that Quebec guy talking about that, and he loved it. So we would just be goofy kids joking around in a bad English, French, Canadian accent. But with Neil, we worked with the Hockey Hall of Fame and TSN, and did that theme song that he did for Hockey Night in Canada. And I had a very special relationship with him. Very quiet, private guy, but one of the most kind people I've ever met in my life. And just a tragic loss for all of us. When we found out a couple of years ago, we were sworn to secrecy and had to keep a lot of it under wraps because that's the way Neil wanted. But when the news came out, it punctuated the loss even more, even though we were prepared in the Rush camp for it and we knew about it. Just the amount of coverage that it got, and to see how he was loved by everybody, that was a tough loss for sure.
Yeah, I think Alan, you texted me the day he died, and I was in Vegas. I was like shocked. Yeah, I mean, it was a blow. It was just a complete blow to everyone. Like, oh, there it is. There he is.
Dave.
Okay, Dave, have a chat with Dave for a little while.
All right, Dave, sit down.
Thumper himself.
So what's going on?
Hey, Dave.
How are we?
No, we're good. We're good. This is Alan. I'm Jimmy. And we're actually live, so just heads up.
We're just
so I got my pants on. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Exactly. Well, no, actually, you can remove them. We won't see anything.
Oh, right. Well,
So what's happening?
So how's rehearsals going?
You know what? We kind of just got started, and we're gonna rehearse today and tomorrow, and then zip right into the show on Saturday. And I flew in last night, and I'll leave again on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, and get back to my regular life up where there's no COVID problems. And yeah,
those guys.
Yeah, you can see them.
Carl, we spoke to you
Before
years
the British
ago, I
Lion
think.
Tour.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
sure. How you doing?
Good. All's
Dave,
good.
I remember when seeing you guys over for Iron Maiden a Peace of Mind tour, and when you guys came out and did We Got a Night, man, that drums, I still remember that to this day, how hard you were hitting that to start off that song.
Well, you know what? I think we're gonna open up the show this year with the same song. So
There you go.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
you're giving it away.
So we got 30 years of songs.
Sorry, that's it. That's all I'm giving
Okay,
you.
you're cut off
Yeah,
in
that's
this
it.
interview.
He's cut
that's
off.
Spilling secrets
Yeah,
already.
I'm ruining everything.
But this is building up to a DVD release. Is that understanding as well?
Yeah, so I hear.
You just got the memo as you
You
said.
got to read the fine print, Dave. Read the fine print.
As anyone else in a band knows, I'm the drummer. I'm the last to know anything, right?
That's it.
You guys probably know things before I do. So yeah, they just they send me emails, tell me when to show up, and I do, and yeah.
Dave, when was the last time you guys actually performed?
Was it
France last about a year ago.
about a year?
Yeah, about a year in northern France.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, we had been in Germany the year before, and we were supposed to go back to both those countries this year, but of course that didn't happen.
Yeah. What about new record, Carl?
Oh, wait a minute.
What's going on with the new record? Is there anything going
Sorry.
on? Or Dave?
Thunder Bay which is where I basically live,
Oh, wow. Okay.
was actually our last show last year, right in November of 2019.
He has a very basic life.
Yes, I have a very, very basic life. 100 acres of land, lots of animals. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Lots of fresh air, and not a lot of people. So it's great.
What about a new album? What's going on? Coney Hatch new album, writing? What's going on?
Carl, sit down and tell them about the new album.
Carl, sit down. Tell us about the
Yeah,
new
we got
album.
Carl sitting down.
Take a seat.
I get
And
into
after
way
is Sean there too?
Talk
Is
about
Sean?
stuff like that.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. It
Carl,
was
is
great
Sean there?
chatting with you.
Sean's here, but he won't talk to you.
Oh, okay.
I'm only allowed 5 words. He's on a very strict, very short leash. We won't let him out of the corner.
All right. Come say hi after. Yes, new album. What's going on? Material? Anything going to happen?
We have a new live album with 2 new tracks on it. That's in the final stages of being prepared for release.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So that's good.
And
So-
if you as my understanding, you buy this or you can pre-order it, you get a T-shirt, and some of the funds from the T-shirt goes to the Unison Benevolent Fund. You want to know anything about that, or?
Yes, so the Unison Benevolent Fund, in case you're not aware of it, is an amazing organization that relies 100% on donations. And they are working with the Mocambo and Coney Hatch, and some proceeds of it will go back to the Unison, and it benefits artists and road crew, people who are in the music industry who might not have any kind of health insurance or any kind of insurance or benefits at all. So it's an amazing cause, especially with everybody out of work right now.
Yeah.
So if we can help a little bit, that's our goal.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. I got my buddy Jay, and he's saying, Andy, do you still play tennis with Steve Harris when Maiden or British Line rolls through town?
So Steve Harris promised to hang out with us on the British Lion tour, and we never saw him other than the dressing room. I got no tennis in with him. He was too busy driving the trucks. We were like, what are you doing? He's driving his own trucks around. He's like, well, got to pitch in, mate.
He was too busy being a helicopter parent for his band.
Yeah. We haven't played tennis in a long time together, but he's still a great pal of ours.
He was just with Iron Maiden last year.
Yep. Yeah.
So, okay. Alan, you got anything?
No, I'm glad that somebody's able to play somewhere. We're shutting down here in Montreal. We're back down into the quarantine and lockdown. So it's inspiring to see that there's still places open and offering limited live music, even if there's a limited crowd access. So
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, we're very happy that you got us on the show.
Yes, thank you.
We gotta get rehearsing right now. They're gonna boot us out of here in about an hour. So
All right.
thank you.
Just blow us off. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
So October 3rd.
Here we go. October 3rd, and
Yeah.
you can bring up their albums there, Alan. October 3rd. This is the first ever pay-per-view content. It's at El Mocambo.
John Kelly.
It's gonna be all their hits from the 4 albums, right?
Oh, yes.
And you can order tickets at, where can you order tickets, Carl?
The tickets, well, the pay-per-view is what most people will be interested in. That's through the Nugs TV website. And there's a link that we could provide to you to circulate, I believe. Andy, my darling.
Oh, I have it. I got to look for it.
Nugs TV. And don't be discouraged, kids. It's not simple. It actually takes 3 steps. You got to turn on this website. You got to click on, you want to buy the Coney Hatch show. And then you have to open an account with them.
Okay.
And then they process your money. And the beauty of this pay-per-view link is it stays alive for 48 hours.
Oh, yeah.
You can go back and watch it again the next day if you liked it that much, or you can get your friends to come over and see it the next day. No, get them all to buy their own.
Yeah, that's right.
Get Sean here to say goodbye.
Hey, Sean, yeah.
Okay.
Get Sean in the
Thanks
drive.
a lot, Carl. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Thank you. Nice seeing
All
you.
right, Sean.
How are you?
All right, 30
All right.
seconds. Tell us what you got. What can we expect from the show, Sean?
Listen, we're 2 songs into rehearsal. I'm psyched. You know I'm a big Coney Hatch fan too, so it's amazing to get to play with these guys. And I'm 2 songs in. I'm chomping at the bit to get to number 3 here.
There you go. We'll let you go and do that right now.
Sean, here's the last
appreciate it.
question for you. Did you meet Lee Aaron, the Metal Queen?
Say that again?
Did you meet Lee Aaron, the Metal Queen? It's like, what is that? What kind of question? I'm getting all these questions.
Did I meet her?
You know what's in the band?
I've been playing with her for 7 years. She's going to talk to me this year. I know it. This is the year.
This is the year.
I'm feeling good about the chances. No, yeah, she's amazing.
It's been the silent treatment. Okay.
Yeah, we share guitar players with Lee Aaron.
All right, man. Thank you, Sean. Thank you,
Hey,
Carl.
good
Thanks,
luck,
Andy.
guys. Looking forward to the show on the October 3rd.
Thanks, guys. Get the troops to sign up. We want lots of people watching.
We'll try our best.
Have a nice
Thank you.
day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Take care.